Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Stock Market Show. This is your host, Shades. Today, we're going to talk about the three AI stocks that you should be looking to buy in the near future once they hit that big bottom. So, let's jump right into the video. Let's start off with Serv Robotics. Serv stock here pumped to $15 before inevitably coming down as low as $7 to $6. So there's your bottom. I have marked here inside this rectangle. I'm telling you the future. I am the weatherman for the stock market. I am forecasting right now that this will come back down under $8. It will come back down nice and cheap down here. That is where you want to buy. You never want to chase tops. The people holding at $24, $20 plus, they were hoping this would go to $20. It unfortunately didn't come back up for them. So they have to hold a bag and hope that one day it comes back up. For the time being, as you can see here, these AI stocks, it's almost like they go in a cycle. The AI hype comes back, dies off, comes back, dies off, comes back, and dies off. It gets nice and cheap. You want to buy it nice and cheap. Then another AI hype cycle happens. People push it up for you because you're already in down here at $6 to $8, and you dump it on their heads. They can hold it back up there. Don't be the foolish one buying up here. You want to buy cheap, guys. Be a cheapskate. Buy the big bottom. So there you go. Serv Robotics. Be patient. Exercise discipline. Let it come down. It will come down eventually. This is a pattern, and you'll see why I'm calling it a pattern. Let's move on to the second stock you should keep an eye on for a big bottom opportunity so you can slap that big ask. Let's look at, no, not ASTS, no, not Gaxos AI. We are actually going to take a look at SoundHound AI, followed by Bbai. Let's start with Bbai here. You zoom out on the chart. Let's go to the weekly to give you a very clear look at the cycles. You see the cycle again? It looks very similar to Serv Robotics. AI hype cycle, and then it dies off. It gets hype again, dies off. Hype again, and the hype dies off, and it just tanks. So where do you want to buy this stock? Well, you don't want to buy it up here, right? Look at that. I remember making several videos telling people, do not hold the bag. Do not buy up here. Let it come down. It'll come down. And look where it's headed. It just red after red after red. I might short it myself next time. Like, seriously, I might short. Like, I never short. I always go long. I've never shorted. But man, sometimes I look at this and I'm like, if people are buying tops, that's when I should short, right? Like, slap the big top, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the mantra would be. But as of right now, you look at the bottom down here, it's down here at around 120 to 150. So you want to buy this when it's cheap over here at 120 to 150. Let it come down. Don't be afraid to buy it when it comes down here nice and cheap. That's when you want it. No one wants it here. That's why it just goes sideways. And then when the hype cycle comes in, it runs 100% plus. You take the profit, rinse and repeat, and it always comes back up to $4 plus. So if you're buying under $2, I'm not saying it's guaranteed 100%, but the chances are very high, especially with the pattern here. The pattern is very clear. Now this is what I'm seeing. I could be way off though, but this is what I'm seeing. And last time it went to 677, it came right back down to 160, like under $2. So really, you want to accumulate it when it comes under $2. So there's your big bottom now there. Under $2, this thing is a buy and hold and wait for the next cycle up. This has been going on now for a while. The same cycles every time. And it's always the AI stocks. So that's what you want to take advantage of there. And finally, we're going to talk about SoundHound AI, which, let me see if I can pull back the chart here. You can see very clearly. Let's go to the weekly. Gives you a clear look at what's been happening with this one. This one, same thing. AI hype cycle. It pumps, it dumps, pumps and dumps. You can see the cycles very clearly. But the difference between this one and the other ones is this one really loves to make big moves when it pumps. It loves to make big moves when it pumps. I mean, here it went from 1.7 to a high of 10 for almost 10x. Then here it went from a low of $4 to a high of 16. So, I want you to keep that in mind, that some of these they're a little more volatile and can offer bigger percentage gains. So SoundHound being one of those. I would wait to see where SoundHound settles I don't know. I can't say that this is the bottom technically down here at around $4 to $5. That's like the bottom. But the problem here is this stock, it just created a new high, and usually it'll pull back and create a new bottom. You want me to show you an example so you don't think I'm just talking out of my butt here. Let me show you an example real quick. So as you can see, this is the bottom, before the huge run, right? You want to buy an accumulator between $4 and $5. Before that, before we had this big run here, it was just trading sideways between $1 and $3. It was just trading sideways here. The big bottom was down here at $1. It created a new high at 10 and created a new bottom at $4 to $5. So if this is going to continue to have this kind of pattern, then we would expect this to pull back quite a bit and then have a new bottom somewhere. Might be at $10, honestly. I don't know. I don't know if I want to make a prediction in terms of where I believe the bottom is going to be for this one again, the new bottom. But I mean, it could be between 10 and 11 is what I would predict. So maybe right here. There you go. Somewhere between, let me see, yeah, 9 and 10 is what I would predict, where we might create a new bottom. But that's just me throwing it out there. It might not be. You know what? The best thing to do is just wait and let it come down and see where the bottom, where the new big bottom is going to be. Because that happens sometimes. It's not always going to indefinitely go sideways here and just stay at that bottom. Sometimes they create new bottoms. Sometimes they create higher bottoms and lower bottoms. What do I mean by that? I mean, GameStop, perfect example. Look at that bottom down here. $20 is the bottom. Where do you think I'm buying? Up here? No. Am I buying up here? I'm waiting for 20. Like, it's that simple. Tilray. This is a cycle, man. This is the market. This is how it likes to move. It's very easy to make money once you know this pattern. Look at that. You look at Tilray stock. It's a weed stock. Who cares about weed stocks? You can see no one cares because it doesn't really go anywhere. It just goes sideways. And as you can see, the bottom did not hold and it's going lower. It'll eventually, though, create a new bottom that we can take advantage of. So regardless, well, if it doesn't, well, Shades, what if it doesn't hold the bottom? Well, you don't touch it, right? There's no bottom. Why would we even bother with it? This is everywhere, by the way. This isn't just these specific stocks. These bottoms reveal themselves everywhere. So I want you, hopefully you learned something from this, because I have a big bottoms strategy. You can download the Word document in the description below. It's free, 12 pages long. You can read my journey and how I developed my big bottom strategy. So that is what to look out for in the future. So SoundHound AI, Bbai, and of course Serv Robotics. Wait for them to come on down. Be excited when it comes down. Like, oh, give it to me cheap. I don't want to be the sucker buying the top. You want to be the sucker buying the bottom. Who's the bigger sucker at that point, right? So, like I was saying, GME, do you really want to buy it up here? Or do you want to buy it where it always settles down? That's it for the video, guys. Those are your 3 AI stocks. Feel free to subscribe. And please hit the like button. I will see you in the next one.